I found the bottle at an estate sale last weekend. The old woman running it said it belonged to her grandfather, some kind of collector. It was a glass Schweppes bottle, but something was off about it. The label was faded, yellowed around the edges, and the text looked wrong somehow. Instead of the familiar logo, it read Smoot Hawley Ginger Ale in that same distinctive font. I should have left it there. But I'm a sucker for vintage soda bottles, so I bought it for $3. The old woman's hands shook as she took my money.
Funny thing, Grandpa always said that bottle tasted like hard times.
I brought it home and put it on my shelf next to my other collectibles. It sat there for a week, and I swear sometimes I could hear it fizzing, which was impossible. The thing had to be 90 years old. Yesterday, I was drinking a can of Schweppes while working from home when I knocked it over. Ginger ale splashed everywhere, including on that old bottle. The moment the liquid touched the glass, something changed. The air grew thick and heavy, like before a thunderstorm. I blinked, and I was somewhere else. I was still holding a drink, but now it was that glass bottle, ice cold and sweating in my palm. The Smoot Hawley label was crisp and new. Around me the world had shifted into sepia tones like an old photograph come to life. I was standing on a street corner, but everything was wrong. The cars were boxy, ancient things that coughed black smoke. Men in worn suits and caps walked past with their shoulders hunched, eyes fixed on the ground. Women clutched thin coats around themselves despite the summer heat, their faces gaunt and worried.
Extra! Extra! Unemployment hits 25%! Hoover says prosperity around the corner.
I tried to speak, but my voice came out different, flatter, with an accent I didn't recognize. What's the date?
August 15th, 1932. Though what difference does it make? Every day's the same now.
I wandered the streets in a daze. Everything was expensive. Impossibly expensive. I watched a woman count pennies at a grocery store trying to buy bread.
Sorry, Mrs. Henderson, wheat's up again. Those damn tariffs got everything costing twice what it should.
She left empty-handed. I followed her outside and saw bread lines stretching around city blocks. Families huddled together, their clothes patched and repatched. Children with hollow cheeks stared at me with old eyes.
You got work, mister? Anything at all? I got 3 kids and haven't eaten in 2 days.
I reached for my wallet, but it wasn't there. Instead, I found a few coins that felt impossibly heavy in my pocket. The weight of desperation, maybe.
The worst part wasn't the poverty, it was the hopelessness. Everyone moved like they were underwater, drowning slowly. I heard fragments of conversations. Factory closed down, said they can't compete with the tariffs. My brother's farm got foreclosed. Used to buy nice things from Europe, now can't afford anything.
I tried to find my way back to where I'd started, but the streets kept changing. The bottle in my hand grew warmer, and I noticed the liquid inside was getting darker, more viscous. When I held it up to the light, I could see things floating in it, tiny images of closed factories, empty farms, families packing their belongings.
Mister, you drinking that fancy soda? My mama says only rich folks can afford imported drinks now.
I looked down at the bottle. The label had changed again. Now it read, Smoot Hawley Despair, now with 60% more economic suffering. That's when I realized the truth. This wasn't just time travel. This was something feeding on economic misery, growing stronger with each tariff, each closed business, each family torn apart by financial ruin. The bottle was a conduit, and I was its latest victim. I tried to drop it, but it was fused to my hand. The liquid inside began to bubble and churn. I could hear voices, thousands of them, all the people who had suffered during those years. They were trapped in there, and now they wanted company. The street around me began to dissolve. The desperate faces of the 1930s faded, but their voices remained whispering, "Stay with us, understand our pain, feel what we felt." I closed my eyes and concentrated on the present, on my apartment, my computer, my modern life. When I opened them, I was back home, sitting at my desk. The can of Schweppes was still spilled across my papers, but the bottle was gone. I've been researching all night. The Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act wasn't just bad economic policy, it was a wound in time itself, a scar that still bleeds. And somewhere out there, that bottle is waiting for the next person who thinks they understand what hard times really means. I keep checking estate sale listings looking for it, not because I want to find it, because I'm terrified someone else will. The worst part? Sometimes late at night I can still taste that ginger ale. It tastes like broken dreams and empty pockets, and I'm starting to crave it.